a windmill that erupts on cue, a roller coaster that jumps the tracks, friendly dragons you can actually meet, creatures from the wizarding world hiding in plain sight. It's all on a brand new theme park in Orlando, Epic Universe. Universal's newest theme park is a masterclass in themed entertainment design. You can be immersed in 5 unique worlds, encounter dragons in Isle of Berk, travel to Wizarding Paris in Ministry of Magic, discover a world where monsters are very much alive in Dark Universe, and turn your day into gameplay with Super Nintendo World. And connecting all these immersive worlds is Celestial Park, perhaps Epic Universe's most astonishing feat. So let's uncover the secrets behind Epic Universe, Orlando's newest world-class theme park. It all began in 2019, when Universal announced plans for an ambitious new theme park. Over the next 6 demanding years, they transformed a former Lockheed Martin site into a world-class destination. The result is a well-designed theme park built around a clear design philosophy, a central hub shaped like a figure 8 connecting multiple immersive worlds. Epic Universe is breaking the norms here, as each land is isolated from each other, as you have to exit near the same portal that you entered and return to Celestial Park in order to travel to a different world. At the heart of it all is Celestial Park, a world between worlds, inspired by the grandeur of 19th century and early 20th century World's Fairs. The entrance and landmark of Epic Universe is the Chronos. It's a kinetic portal that serves as an introduction piece to Epic Universe. At the top we see medallions representing each world, framed on each side by 2 Art Deco statues. And at the bottom, a large portal reading, "Beyond this gate find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams." You see, the Chronos is not just an icon, it's also a storytelling device within the lore of Epic Universe. The Chronos harnesses the energy from the universe to power the entire park, energizing Celestial Park itself and activating the portals that lead to the 4 themed realms. It was created by Vincent Varios. Inside the Sensorium Emporium, we can spot his workshop, with a blackboard featuring plans for the Chronos. But we also spot this peculiar constellation. What is it? Well, it's Celestial Park. The sun here is the Helios Hotel. On the opposite end is Luna's Court of the Moon, where the Chronos is located. Then we have the portals and the constellation carousel. The telescope he owned is also visible, perhaps essential in calculating the Chronos. The Chronos is the perfect park icon because it serves as the park's visual anchor. It pulses with light and power, framing your journey into this multi-world universe. As we step foot into this gate, we find an epic world indeed. This is the Court of the Moon, named after Luna, which we see a statue of framing the Helios Grand Hotel. This dynamic creates a fantastic perspective. We see here and we see beyond. Helios and Luna also take part in the lore of Celestial Park. Luna is the goddess of the moon and Apollo of the sun. So currently we are at the Luna side of Celestial Park. The color palette features blue hues and the moon on the balustrade. At the center of Celestial Park we spot both the sun and the moon, and at Helios Grand, just the sun. Not only that, near Stardust Racers, in this spot you can see that the curb changes color. Take note as well of Luna's garden. At each side we have these large pillars with fire at the top, but the water begins its journey here. The water in Celestial Park tells its own story. Near Luna, the waterfalls are more chaotic and seem to form a half moon. Later on, this water will transform into magnificent fountains. At the entrance we find 2 arcades, one on each side, featuring detailed stores. One side has Otherworld's Mercantile. Here Universal is reutilizing a trick from Islands of Adventure. This store is the coming together of all the worlds of Epic Universe. The Celestians have collected goods from the other worlds and brought them here. Otherworld's Mercantile is an outstanding store with different murals representing each world and a large kinetic sculpture in the center, representing some sort of fantasy astrolabe. The park stores are so well detailed they could easily rival those in Disneyland Paris and Tokyo Disney Sea. Next to that may be my favorite location, Moonship Chocolates and Celestial Sweets, home to Epic Universe's most iconic characters, Captain Cacao, and Maya of the Skies. The interior features the namesake moonship at the center, with its star-shaped floating marshmallows that help propel this aircraft. The counter is shaped like a captain's quarter. Even the doors are themed, featuring a small door for Captain Cacao himself. There's also a wall of goods with a recipe book and a map, with some interesting chocolate-themed puns. Besides Sensory Emporium, the other side also features North Star Wintry Wonders. Outside, artificial snow sets the perfect scene, leaving guests in just the right Christmas mood. The highlight here is a conveyor belt of toys. See if you can spot some familiar faces. But also notice this reference to the Kronos, built out of toys. There's also a large table presumably belonging to Father Christmas himself or some elves. Speaking of that, we can spot his list, and via these two seals, he has indeed checked it twice. Some names here might be familiar. Dale could be a reference to Dale Mason. Dale Mason is one of Universal's most trusted creative leads. He's known for shaping flagship lands like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Volcano Bay, Islands of Adventure, and even Epic Universe. Mark could be a reference to Mark Woodbury, COO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. On the Nautilus side, we have Adam. This could be a reference to Adam Rivest, executive producer of Celestial Park. Celestial Park is a revolution within the world of themed entertainment. Instead of a traditional main street, with all the amenities at the front of the park, Celestial Park stretches throughout the entire expanse of Epic Universe. We have attractions, shopping, dining, and most importantly, concierge stands. Instead of walking all the way to the entrance for guest services, at Epic Universe, we find these convenient concierge stands outside the portals. And unlike other theme park hubs, Celestial Park has rides. Two of them. At its center stands the Constellation Carousel, an innovative ride designed as both kinetic sculpture and narrative device. This is no ordinary carousel. Positioned in Constellation Plaza, it serves as a spatial and experimental anchor within Celestial Park. Placed near the bodies of water, it creates this impressive perspective. Unlike traditional carousels, the Constellation Carousel is supported from below, creating a ground-level platform, no steps or central pole, obstructing the ride area. 3 turntables are stacked on top of one another, each capable of rotating independently. The result is a fluid, multi-directional ride experience that feels more like drifting through space than riding a traditional carousel, setting the stage for the real stars of the attraction, the celestial figures themselves. You see, each figure represents a constellation, complete with star points embedded into the sculpture. When connected, these points trace the actual constellations depicted, such as Ursa Major. Constellation Carousel represents how Epic Universe is revolutionizing the theme park experience, one attraction at a time. Where the sun meets the moon lies one of Epic Universe's most impressive thrill rides. Stardust Racers is more than your average roller coaster. From the outside, guests will spot the large comet fixture, where coaster trains zoom throughout, creating a dynamic kinetic scene. Soon, you realize this is a dueling coaster. Now, dueling coasters have been a staple of the amusement park experience for years, yet they've become increasingly rare. Epic Universe promises to revolutionize this type of coaster experience with a dueling coaster to end all. Using advanced technology and thrilling coaster inversions, the dueling experience here feels unique. You never know which side will win. It provides a unique, immersive racing experience. But perhaps one of the most overlooked parts of this attraction is the load station. Themed after a late 19th century public transit station, as the lore of this attraction tells us, Celestians have figured out a way to harness the energy and capture these comets, jump on them, and ride them across the night sky. But with the introduction of portals, this method became outdated, so it's now used to race across the skies. In the interior, notice the large steel structure and the signature station tile, architectural elements of early industrial train stations. But the biggest innovation might be sitting below the load platform. Built by the renowned coaster manufacturer Mach Rides, Stardust Racers consolidates all critical infrastructure, load, unload areas, the launch segment, and even the maintenance bay into a single integrated building. Unlike traditional roller coasters that rely on a separate, often visible transfer shed, this maintenance area is cleverly hiding below our noses. The result is a more immersive, environment, with fewer visual breaks and a more streamlined operation behind the scenes. Stardust Racers might just be one of the most thrilling and dynamic roller coasters out there. The area outside Stardust Racers also references the asteroid theme. This can be seen at Meteor Astro Pub. Outside there is a kinetic meteor sign that can be seen throughout Celestial Park. The interior features some celestial elements like an astrolabe and shiny metallic finishes evoking spacecraft and observatories. The brick facade is reminiscent of Victorian-era industrial architecture. Located next to the Helios Grand Hotel is the Blue Dragon sit-down restaurant. The facade is streamlined with a few traditional Chinese influences. There's also this large Blue Dragon sculpture referencing the namesake constellation. The interior features large neon street signs referencing other Celestial Park locations. And the main dining hall is a traditional Xu Huang style courtyard house. You'll see the space is enclosed by 4 walls with an open central courtyard. This traditional style is commonly found in Beijing and around China. Inside, it's always nighttime, creating a calm, moonlit atmosphere that enhances the immersive dining experience. The restaurant's lore centers on Kai Ming, an adventurous scholar from Chengdu, China, guided by the mythical Blue Dragon constellation by land and even on her celestial bike. Her travels led to the Celestial Park, where the constellation itself is said to have reappeared, inspiring her to establish a Pan-Asian eatery. Next to Dark Universe is Oaken Star. Designed with an arts and crafts look, Oaken Star is one of the most impressive quick service locations here at Epic Universe, featuring multiple dining rooms designed with a nature-inspired treehouse-like atmosphere. The first we encounter features this large fireplace and huge wooden trusses. We also see large chandeliers, arches. There is also this impressive stained glass window featuring a large oak tree and animals represented in the artwork. There are also impressive columns. The capital of these columns feature different animals, relating to the backstory of this place. Beyond that, large murals painted on the brickwork display whimsical animals in the forest. According to the lore, a whimsical celestial owl tumbled into an ancient enchanted oak tree that now resides in front of the restaurant. Other animals follow suit, prompting them to build a tavern right in front of the tree's sprawling roots. On the right features a treetop roof and more of that brickwork. The last room features the bar and live music. There's a fireplace with a hidden cricket friend. And the stained glass window behind the stage creates the perfect backdrop to a musical spectacular. Oaken Star works so well because it seamlessly blends rich storytelling with immersive attention to detail, from the enchanted oak centerpiece and whimsical wildlife motifs to the warm rustic architecture that evokes an arts and crafts style. It's a memorable experience that captures the essence of Celestial Park. Epic Universe is leading the way in innovation when it comes to theme park quick service. Not only is the food an upgrade, but also the experience is revolutionary. Without waiting in a huge line to order food, with undecided people that don't know what they want, you first sit down and order via your phone. This creates a more seamless, stress-free experience, where you can sit down, relax, and enjoy the ambience. Then, team members bring the food to your table, and for clumsy people like myself, not having to worry about dropping a tray of food is a huge upgrade. Then there is Pizza Moon. Pizza Moon is a theater turned into a pizzeria, all in the setting of A Trip to the Moon, one of Jules Verne's most iconic stories. The exterior features motifs from grand Victorian theaters and a sign referencing the Georges Méliès film. The interior is set like a Victorian theater. We see large kinetic human figures, each performing an act relating to pizza and the moon. Well, because the moon is made from cheese, of course. The murals feature lunar landscapes, all with a cheesy cheddar twist. Beyond that, we see some smaller presentations, including the Pizza Queen, and the most impressive one featuring a rocket-themed oven with the sun and the Pizza King. It all comes together in an impressive, almost mobile-like atmosphere. Pizza Moon succeeds as a themed dining space by fully committing to its whimsical premise, a Victorian-era journey to the moon powered by pizza and imagination. Drawing inspiration from Jules Verne and Georges Méliès, it combines theatrical architecture, surreal lunar murals, and charming animated figures into a setting that feels like a living play. But perhaps the most impressive restaurant at Epic Universe is Atlantic. This octagonal-shaped building features large columns crowned by two mermaids with a shell. Large windows allow for impressive views of Celestial Park and the worlds beyond. The interior features this cool diving helmet that works as a check-in desk. But the most impressive element are the fishes. These kinetic sculptures travel to the restaurant. In total, 36 fishes are present, creating an engaging experience for guests. This is truly unfathomable. The backstory tells the story of a sailor named Fernando del Mare, who, after being caught in a storm in the Bermuda Triangle, ended up in Celestial Park. He decided to establish a restaurant themed after 19th century aquariums, inspired by his grandma's love for aquariums. Unlike other theme parks, the centerpiece of Epic Universe is not a castle. It's a working hotel. The Helios Grand Hotel sits as the focal point, or Winnie, of the park. Not next to it, not behind it, inside it. This means guests aren't just staying close to the action, they are surrounded by it. From the rooms, you get panoramic views of the entire park, including nighttime shows and attractions in motion. The Helios represents the sun. We see bronze-like domes and a not-so-obvious sun crowning peace at the top. In front of the hotel, we find the statue of Apollo. In Greek mythology, Apollo is a god often associated with the sun and light. He fires an arrow with the power of light. Inside the lobby, we get impressive views of the park, Stardust going by, the Apollo statue, and Super Nintendo World beyond. It's all dynamic, all immersive. In front of Helios, we see the Cosmos Fountain. Constructed as a circular, slightly recessed amphitheater nestled between the Constellation Carousel and the Helios Grand Hotel, the fountain sits lower than the surrounding walkways. This provides clear sightlines across Celestial Park and frames the hotel as its backdrop. But Celestial Park is also a marvel of landscaping that lights up at night. Using the power of LED, every light, every fountain can be synchronized in harmony, transforming the entire park into a breathtaking symphony of color and motion. The result is a dazzling nighttime spectacular that feels like stepping into a living constellation, an unforgettable display of wonder that redefines what a theme park can be after dark, and it all culminates in this nighttime spectacular. Now let's venture into the worlds of Epic Universe and uncover their secrets. Located on the right side of the park, we find a timeless world of adventure and, well, dragons. This is Isle of Berk. Outside we find a large portal. Each portal at Epic Universe must accommodate a few things. First, we have this semicircular vault trimmed with a large Victorian motif that echoes what's inside the world. On top, we see the main icon of the world, in this case a Night Fury, and crowning everything is a pinnacle. The vault is covered in LEDs to create a seamless transition from Celestial Park to a new world. But beyond that, there are a few hidden things. First, the portal must accommodate gates that open and close. As so, you'll see this large portion of rockwork besides the portal. This hides the large gate doors. Look at the ground and you see this pattern on the floor, configured to allow the world to be closed for ticketing machines to be installed. Because of that, the portal requires a side exit, usually accompanied by a security post. What sets Epic Universe apart is its commitment to immersion. The entryways to each world are designed as cinematic reveals, enveloping guests in fantastical environments. One of the most efficient tools in themed entertainment design is the conceal and reveal. You see this when we enter the portal and are confronted by this large rock piece describing Berk as a cold, miserable place that is 12 days north of hopeless and a few degrees south of freezing to death, but a place inhabited by dragons. This rock is not just a storytelling device, it's hiding the big reveal from us, creating a sense of discovery and mystery. It's controlled reveal, engineered suspense. Then, we get the big reveal. We are greeted by two towering Viking warrior statues, standing in the water of the central lagoon, using fire effects to make it stand out. Far in the distance we see Mid-Hall and its subsequent spire with Goofy's hut on top. And you might just catch Hiccup's wing gliders zoom through the water and make a splash. It's all dynamic, all kinetic. Below, the water feels lively, adding a North Sea feel to the land. Beyond that, boats enhance the visual storytelling. These are Vikings after all. When they say, "We, my friends, have dragons," they really mean it. As soon as you venture through this world, you will encounter all types of flying creatures. Near the waters, we see dragons eating fish. Is there such a thing as too much fish? Near the freestyle machines, we find a dragon that is too cool. These animated figures add to the visual storytelling of the world, showcasing to us that this is a living world. The dragons aren't on display, they are in motion, interacting with the environment, and by extension, with us. The center of Berk is anchored by an interactive fountain. Next to that is Gobber's workshop. We find a Viking helmet production line and a target ship prototype, I assume. Dragons are also present here, with one helping ignite the fire of the forge for the village blacksmith. Next to fire drill, we find an actual fire truck, all in that classic How to Train Your Dragon style. And just outside the store, there is a Stormcutter type dragon, adding to the impressive scene. But more secrets lie inside. This is how to treat your dragon. It features this outstanding mural. The stores of Epic Universe are a destination by themselves. The centerpiece here is Mid-Hall. In the films, Mid-Hall is the social and political heart of Berk. It's where the tribe gathers for celebrations, hold council meetings, and where the chiefs sit to lead. Inside Mid-Hall, you are greeted by massive tapestries, rich, stylized pieces that featured beloved characters from the films. And at the far end of the hall sits the chief's throne, a beautiful carved set framed by dragon motifs, aged timber, and stone detailing. In other words, it's the perfect photo opportunity. But perhaps the biggest secret lies above us. At the top of this peak lies a secret: Goofy's hut, a hidden retreat perched high above the village. The highlight attraction of Isle of Berk is Hiccup wing gliders. Hiccup is giving us the opportunity to fly like dragons, all thanks to his ingenious invention. Hopefully, nothing will go wrong. We venture through his workshop, where we spot a large map, presumably from Hiccup, as he tries to discover the world. We also find large schematic drawings and a reference to Shrek with Donkey. Hiccup has invented a new dragon-like flying contraption that will give us the feeling of flying like a dragon. It's a roller coaster ride manufactured by Intamin. The biggest accomplishment of this experience is how it winds its way through the land. First jumping over a gas pathway, then diving into the waters of Isle of Berk, making quite a splash. Passing through some ship, Berk's most eclectic residence, then arriving at the Grog nestling site, where it all goes wrong. Throughout the land you'll catch glimpses of the coaster as it dives, climbs and races past key locations. It's all immersive. Another highlight attraction is Dragon Racers Rally. It really adds to the ambience of the land. Also, the sheep are a highlight by themselves. Perhaps the highlight of Isle of Berk is not an attraction but an encounter, like no other. Imagine coming face to face with your favorite friend. This is the Toothless meet and greet. But Universal is using a trick they learned from a now defunct experience, the Triceratops encounter, a forgot attraction from Islands of Adventure, where guests could encounter an animatronic Triceratops. Well, the idea here is similar, but you can get way closer to Toothless, even touch him. It's intimate, incredibly lifelike, and deeply emotional. And for fans of the franchise or anyone who ever dreamed of having a dragon at home, this may be the single most magical moment in the entire park.
He's gotta get a sniff first. He's gotta get a sniff.
Next to that, you will also find Fire Drill. Fire Drill is a standard splash battle type attraction, where each side fights to see who will get the most wet. But this attraction did something really special. It's all represented with its own unique art style, similar to It's a Small World. In this area, you can also find this kinetic contraption, showcasing Toothless flying, and also this tree sculpture, retelling that iconic moment from the movie. Tucked away at the back of this land is what might be one of Universal's most impressive live shows to date, the Untrainable Dragon. This production blends live actors, original music, practical effects, and yes, a full-sized dragon that flies across the stage. The show combines spectacle with heart, delivering moments that are both visually jaw-dropping and emotionally grounded, the kind of experience that sticks with you long after you've left the theater. Isle of Berk is indeed filled with dragons. Nearly every corner of the land features some sort of motion, wings flapping, heads turning, tails flickering. Combined with the incredible attention to detail in the architecture, textures and sound design, it all works together to fully transport you into the world of how to train your dragon. The next world we venture is one of play. Welcome to Super Nintendo World. Now, to fully understand Super Nintendo World, we need to view it from above. Unlike other lands, it's very much dynamic. It features 2 levels, which elevate a smallish space into something truly immersive. To enter this world, we need to go to the second level, so we ascend via the portal. This is all themed to make us feel as if we entered a warp pipe. After passing through Peach's castle, the view unfolds, delivering that perfect review of a vibrant, kinetic world beyond. Around us, every prop moves, even the Yoshi. The centerpiece is Mount Bimpo, and it needs no introduction. As you can see, the multiple levels create a more dynamic experience. You see the towering peaks beyond, but you also see what's happening below you. This area is not just for show. Some of these show scenes are also used for interactive games, all accomplished via powered-up band guests can buy. But Super Nintendo World's e-ticket attraction lets you step into the game. Mario Kart's Bowser Challenge. Enter Bowser's Castle, as we are challenged on the Universal Cup. The ride blends physical sets with AR technology. It's a world-class attraction that already premiered in Osaka and Hollywood, and it now anchors Super Nintendo World at Epic Universe. Another highlight experience is Yoshi's Adventure. This is a people mover type attraction that provides great vistas of the land and some cute moments. But beyond these attractions, the stores in the area are also pretty immersive, reminiscent of a classic Mario game. But within Super Nintendo World, there exists another world, Donkey Kong Country. After passing a proto-portal, guests encounter this vibrant tropical-like environment, recreating and expanding classic scenes from the Donkey Kong games. We see the large Golden Temple with its impressive waterfall. This houses one of Epic Universe's biggest technological achievements, Kart Madness. What if you could step into the Donkey Kong games? What if you could play Kart in real life? What if you could jump the tracks? This is no concept art, this is real life. This is Epic Universe. So, how did they do that? It's simple. At Kart Madness there exist 2 tracks. On top is the fake scenery track, designed to look like old wooden rail you'd expect from a Donkey Kong game. But the actual ride vehicle isn't attached to the track at all. Below it is the real deal. A large boom arm connects the car to the real track below. But that's not all. Unlike traditional roller coasters where the brake fins are positioned horizontally, here they are mounted on the sides. That's because the entire track system is rotated 90 degrees from a standard roller coaster. Why? Because the ride vehicle isn't riding on top of the track, it's suspended from the side, supported by the boom arm. The arm connects right next to the track. This rotated layout is essential to hiding the real track, while keeping the illusion intact. It's an unconventional setup that helps sell the idea that you're falling off rails just like in the Donkey Kong games. The way we access Super Nintendo World is different than that which we entered. You see, the exit is from ground level, thus arriving at a nice gift shop, featuring a mix of classical architecture and Nintendo. This store brings the worlds of the world-renowned brand together. We see large stained glass murals depicting both Mario and Zelda characters. Inside a neo-medieval style with large Solomonic columns, rich wooden textures and banners reflecting those games, outside is a nice Mario fountain with spinning stars. It's a thoughtful send-off. One last moment of immersion that ties together the fantasy worlds of Nintendo before we step back into reality. The next portal we venture is a world filled with magic, Harry Potter and the Ministry of Magic. The portal features this large time-turner device. As we venture through the portal, subway-like tower, very reminiscent of the Paris metro system, can be seen. As we approach this world, listen carefully to the sounds of 1920s cars and the park ambience. Then we get the big reveal, a large arch inspired by Porte Saint-Denis in Paris, as a visual keyhole, framing the reveal beyond. And indeed, it's an impressive reveal, framed by tall buildings on each side, all leading to this whinny at the end. And just at our periphery is the Sacré-Cœur Basilica. This is Place Cachée. We see large, orderly streets, all leading to focal points, inspired by Haussmann's large urban transformations. On ground, notice the large scale of these buildings, something quite rare in the world of theme parks. This recreates that Haussmann-style Parisian architecture we are all familiar with, but each facade is themed and decorated, telling its own story. On ground, we see lively scenes at the store facades, and at the floors, different business exists, everything from eye doctors to dentist's office. And each facade tells its own story. My personal favorite is hidden at the end of this street. It's Le Mollusque Nocturne Hotel. Themed after a snail creature from Fantastic Beasts named Striller, his trail is so dangerous it burns everything in its path. The hotel advertises free breakfast, but we can see it's in a pretty rough shape, reflecting its namesake animal. At the center and focal point of this land is a spectacle like no other, Le Cirque à Canoë. It combines live actors, special effects and puppetry to bring magical creatures to life in an engaging show like no other. But the highlight attraction of Ministry of Magic is Battle at the Ministry. The entrance is located in this Art Nouveau building, utilizing the Metro Flu powder to help us travel to space and time and visit the most dangerous place of all, 1990s London. Here we'll witness the trial of the most evil, Dolores Umbridge, and experience the pinnacle of theme park design. The experience begins before you board the ride vehicle, as we traverse the queue, recreating iconic scenes from the movies, including the never-ending Ministry. The highlight of the queue is the audio animatronic, the house elf Hiccup.
And is now standing trial for her horrible crimes. Hiccup is not know what the mistress doing all research was doing here at the Ministry, and Hiccup would never tell, even if she did know, especially if it involved broken down.
But the ride is a marvel in themed design, able to move up and down and slide side to side, creating an immersive experience like no other. The sets are impressive, the animatronics are out of this world. When you leave, you'll question if everything was a screen or an animatronic. But that's just the beginning. Place Cachée has a lot to offer. Before you enter Battle at the Ministry, notice this statue. It serves as the focal point of the street and expands the backstory of the wizards during the French Revolution. Another example are the stairways of Montmartre, depicting the statue from the Fantastic Beasts movies. Every prop, every newspaper tells a story, like the fact the Mona Lisa has forgotten to return to her portrait. This land features one of the most impressive quick service locations in the park, Café L'Air de la Sirène, themed like a 19th century Parisian café with a backstory related to mermaids. Its scale is impressive, and the food is also delightful. The stores in this world are also marvelous and rich in detail. The department store is said to have infinite levels, and the cash registers are so detailed. The candy store is rich in detail as well, with moving set pieces. There's also the beautiful wand shop, Cosme Acajou, where you might encounter the proprietor of the store. Another highlight is the French Ministry of Magic, which doesn't currently feature any attractions, but it's a great space to enjoy the ambience. There you'll find Bar Moonshine, with its smaller, intimate feel. A hidden detail I love is the flag of Brazil. Now, the national flag of Brazil is similar to that of the United States in the fact that each star represents a state, and over time the number of states increases, and so does the number of stars. But we are in the 1920s, and back then there were only 21 stars, and Universal Creative actually got that flag right. But what if there was also a hidden place within Place Cachée? This crooked lane is where clandestine dark wizards gathered, shadowy figures walk into this mysterious medieval Paris-like environment. There you'll find Le Gobelet Noir. Styled like an ancient medieval albergue, outside only a small sign displays its name. You wouldn't want to attract the attention from the ministry after all. Inside you'll find this super detailed space, where you can see some hidden details and references. It has a more intimate atmosphere. Each room is decorated differently with a lot of hidden details. The buildings are all crooked, as if they were falling apart, contrasting with the organized streets of Paris. On one building we can find a fungus-like magical creature from the Harry Potter universe, known for destroying buildings with acidic residue. The entertainment is also top-notch. Wizarding Paris is a marvel in theme park design, with its impressive scale, incredible attention to detail, and hidden references. This world invites you to slow down, explore, and discover something new around every corner. You could easily spend an entire day just uncovering this world. Next up, we're entering a world where monsters are very much alive. This is Dark Universe. For decades, Universal was the undisputed king of monster movies, the studio that pioneered the genre, from The Phantom of the Opera to The Hunchback of Notre Dame and Frankenstein. These movies would revolutionize cinema and pave the way for an interconnected universe of films. But over time, the spectacle of monsters faded away into obscurity. Well, until now. The portal for Dark Universe features a large pinnacle, harnessing energy on top, presumably one of Victoria's experiments. The semicircle reads, "It's alive. It's alive," and the LEDs form a hemisphere with purple clouds. You may also spot vampire skulls, setting the mood for what you are about to encounter. The reveal is impressive, first twisting you into a graveyard, giving us that cinematic reveal, again using the conceal and reveal technique. Then we get the main view, a dark, dilapidated Eastern European village and a neo-Gothic manor beyond. This village is just the right length here. If it were too big or too wide, it would make the manor too small. Also, its layout is of highlight. Compared to Harry Potter, it's not ordained, straight, it's crooked, twisty. A broken archway reveals the name of this place, Darkmoor. All the buildings here in Darkmoor are dilapidating and feature a desaturated color palette, giving us a not-so-friendly welcome. One side features Dr. Pretorius' scientific oddities. Dr. Pretorius is a character from The Bride of Frankenstein. He represents the darker side of ambition, often obsessed with controlling life itself, no matter the cost. Inside you can meet the man himself, or what's left of him. Also you'll find these little creepy creatures, named the homunculi. Next to that is a facade depicting the Bürgermeister, or mayor, a central character from Frankenstein. Here we occasionally find a violinist that adds to the ambience. On top, the coat of arms of Darkmoor is visible. The elements here represent a haunted European village besieged by monsters. Also notice the various spikes on top the chimney. At the central point of the village, we have this creepy, mysterious well, said to be utilized by vampires, and at night it glows red. On the other side we have a bell tower. Instead of a traditional pointed arch like you will find in medieval architecture, we have an inverted arch that kinda looks like a bat. Next to that is this facade with an arch and a bay window on top. Here you'll find a ship weather vane, likely referencing Bram Stoker's Dracula, the original book. Next to that is Das Steakhouse, where vampires are having us for dinners. They said the food here is to die for. Another hidden detail is Dr. Jekyll's apothecary. From time to time, you'll see the two personas having a discussion. And next to that is the Lionhead's pub, from The Invisible Man. Now, approaching Frankenstein Manor, we find Epic Universe's most ambitious attraction, Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment. Housed within this neo-Gothic manor, inspired by real-life Chateau Miranda in Belgium, that was unfortunately demolished in 2017. It features a central, Gothic clock tower, but as you can see, Victoria has made some modifications, adding a bit more energy to the place. The entry gate spikes are meant to resemble a foreboding image of fangs as you pass underneath them. As you walk into the manor, discover the hidden history of the Frankenstein family and their failed experiments that ended in catastrophe. Now, Victoria is very concerned with the stigma surrounding her family's name. She believes she can legitimize her work to redeem the name of Frankenstein. So, over the years, she has gathered all the monsters, the creature, the mummy, the wolfman, and she even created a new monster, better than the original. This new Frankenstein is the key to the experiment. Yet one monster remains: Dracula. In the queue line, we can see the obsession Victoria has with controlling the monsters, specifically Dracula, using the blue energy to hopefully control them. The big reveal of the queue line is this massive stairway with two large Frankenstein-looking statues, representing reanimated life in an ideal manner. Besides that, we have this large mural, all adding to a creepy atmosphere. One side features Harry, and the other Victoria. In the pre-show room, we see the family motto, Mortui vivos docent, the dead teach the living. Here you meet a masked character, but fear not, this is Igor.
Now is the time to abandon hope.
Monsters Unchained is a masterclass in immersive attraction design, powered by the advanced Kuka robotic arm ride system.
You think Igor's fierce? Nothing goes wrong, yes?
This cutting-edge technology allows for unprecedented fluid motion, spinning, tilting, and swooping gas through a cinematic dark ride that brings Universal's classic monsters to terrifying life. Then we come face to face with the mastermind behind it all, Victoria herself, all accomplished with state-of-the-art audio animatronics.
They called Henry a monster. They were afraid of what he had done. But you will see. There is nothing to fear. Show them.
What's that then?
Lower the lights, quickly. Now. These people are friends. See? There's nothing to be afraid of. He is amazing. Better than the original.
Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment, is a landmark attraction, the kind that defines an era of theme park design. Just as The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man set a new golden standard in 1999 by blending motion simulators with physical sets, Monsters Unchained pushes the medium forward again, this time through the seamless fusion of Kuka robotics, large-scale practical environments, and lifelike animatronics. The attraction doesn't only rely on nostalgia, it reconstructs Universal's monsters into something bigger, darker, and more emotionally charged. It's physical, cinematic, and it's alive. It's alive! The guests exit into the scariest part of the ride, the gift shop. No one escapes alive without buying something. Outside Victoria's manor, you'll find the Lacey's cottage, referencing the original Frankenstein book. Next to that is the ambitious Burning Blade Tavern. Every so often, the tavern lights up in flames as a mob, accomplished via small lighting effects, approaches. The windmill is set ablaze with impressive practical fire effects. The Burning Blade Tavern functions as an outdoor storytelling set piece. Through layered lighting, sound design, and fire, it recreates the climax of a classic monster scene. It's one of the clearest examples in the land of how architecture, special effects, and story work together to create immersion. Now perhaps the biggest achievement in Dark Universe is the landscaping. Take a look at these bent, weird, even creepy looking trees. They set the tone, making the land feel alive, or in this case dead, undeniably strange, but fitting. Now Dark Universe invites you to face the scariest monster of all, yourself. This is Curse of the Werewolf, a roller coaster like no other. Maleva, from the Guild of the Mystics, invites you to find out if you are, well, cursed. The roller coaster recreates the experience of transforming into a werewolf. The Smack Ride's attraction delivers intense launches, unpredictable spinning, and death-defying thrills, all building to a climatic face-off with the Wolfman himself. Dark Universe is the kind of land only Universal could build. Dark, eerie, and immersive, yet still thrilling and fun. It strikes the perfect balance between horror and high-energy adventure. It's also revolutionary, choosing to craft an original storyline with popular characters rather than being a shot-for-shot recreation of a film setting. It's the next generation of themed entertainment, and it already looks outstanding. As we leave Darkmoor and escape the monsters for now, we find my personal favorite detail. As the transition happens here, the old dilapidated security post, with its dead-looking plants, transitions into a lively one once you exit Dark Universe into Celestial Park. And here's something most guests might never notice, but it matters in a big way. Epic Universe is the first theme park ever to honor Platinum certification under LEED, a global system that rates how environmentally friendly and efficient a project is. So, what does that mean? It means this park was built with a long-term vision, sustainability from day one, truly showcasing how Epic Universe is the future of theme parks. Epic Universe is poised to set a new golden standard for the industry, inspiring future theme park developments and forever changing the way we experience themed entertainment. With its lifelike dragons, impressive shows, and world-class theming all within a single incredible theme park, Epic Universe in 2025 marks the dawn of a new era, just like Disneyland did in 1955. A bold new age where every aspect of the experience is immersive, every detail matters, where you can live your own stories. The scale of this park is astronomical, because it breaks every norm and somehow succeeds. Epic Universe doesn't need to be the definitive #1 theme park to make a lasting impact. What truly matters is that it offers a fresh, compelling experience, carving out its own identity and pushing the boundaries of themed entertainment in its own way. Epic Universe is a revolution in how we experience theme parks, and its value comes from what it brings uniquely to the table. And what it brings to the table is truly, well, epic.